Security guards drag a skinny boy across the marble terrace, while champagne glasses clink. Mr. Okonkwo, Lagos's third richest man, sneers at the crowd. "Street rats don't belong near my daughter." The boy clutches a silver harmonica. Silent tears streak his dusty face. "You think dancing makes you worthy of breathing our air?" 50 meters away, a wheelchair sits empty. Amara watched everything from her bedroom window. Have you ever witnessed someone punish kindness because it exposed their own emptiness? This is one of those African stories, a real-life story where power and pride collide with a truth no wealth can bury. One of those touching stories rooted in African folklore that reminds us the smallest act of compassion can unravel the cruelest empire. But the billionaire had no idea what that harmonica would cost him. 6 months earlier, Kwam's father collapsed on a rain-soaked highway. Heart attack. The ambulance took 90 minutes. By the time they arrived, his harmonica was still warm. That instrument now hangs around Kwame's neck on a frayed shoelace. He's 14. Sleeps under 3rd Mainland Bridge with 62 others. Daily earnings from traffic light dancing. N200 feed him and his sister Nia, 9 years old, at Sister Folek's church shelter. This morning at Ojota bus stop, a vendor whispered while counting coins. Okonkwo's daughter loves music, but he banned everything except classical piano. Says street instruments are vulgar. Kwame knows Okonkwo. 12 luxury hotels. Face on every light for the voiceless billboard. Yesterday's newspaper showed him handing an oversized check to orphans, N50 million. Same newspaper buried a back-page story. 3 beggars hospitalized after his security team cleared his gate. The girl, Amara, hasn't smiled since the accident, the vendor continued. 2 years in that wheelchair. Doctors say her legs work. Her mind quit. Kwame gripped his harmonica. At dawn, he slips past the estate's back gate. The guard snores, gin bottle tipped beside his chair. Kwame moves through imported roses, marble fountains, hedges trimmed into spirals. Amara's window glows 2nd floor. Yellow curtains. He positions himself beneath the balcony. Plays the first 8 notes of Oriki Mama, the lullaby his father hummed when Nia was born. The melody drifts through jasmine vines. 30 seconds. The curtain shifts. A girl wheels to the glass. 12 years old, thin shoulders, hospital bracelet still on her wrist. She watches through the reflection. Doesn't open the door. Doesn't call out. Kwame keeps playing. Slow, deliberate. Each note a question. Amara presses her palm to the glass. Kwame shifts into dance. Not his frantic traffic routine. Traditional steps his father choreographed. Afrobeat rhythms blended with Yoruba praise movements. Bare feet trace patterns on wet grass. Amara's lips curve, she claps. Silent behind glass, but her hands move. 3 times 4 Kwame bows low. Respect first. What are you doing on my property? Okonkwo stands on the terrace in a yellow silk tie, 6'2". Tailored suit that costs more than Kwame earns in 5 years. 3 security guards rush forward. Kwame straightens. Sir, I was just trespassing. Okonkwo descends. Mocking my daughter with your circus. I wasn't mocking. She smiled. Okonkwo glances at Amara's window. The curtain closes. His jaw hardens. My daughter doesn't perform for beggars. Guards grab Kwame's arms. One twists the harmonica strap. Kwame's vision blurs, but he stays still. Doesn't struggle, sir, please, his voice cracks. I wasn't trying to hurt. To what? Scout the property? Plan a robbery? Okonkwo moves closer. Sandalwood cologne chokes the air between them. Street kids always have an angle. Play your instrument, tug heartstrings, suddenly we owe you charity. I don't want anything, liar. Okonkwo yanks the harmonica free. The shoelace snaps. He examines the silver instrument under morning light. Cheap metal. Stolen, probably. It was my father's. Was. Okonkwo's smile cuts. Orphan card, classic. Next you'll want tuition money. A job? Should I adopt you while I'm feeling generous? Kwame's knees buckle. Guards hold him upright. Okonkwo walks to the fountain, 12 feet of Italian marble, bronze dolphins spouting water. He dangles the harmonica above it. Less than time, he drops it. The splash echoes. Silver glints through chlorine before sinking. Kwame can't breathe. Get him out. Okonkwo adjusts his yellow tie. If he comes within 500 meters again, call the police. Stalking a minor. Lagos State Child Rights Law 2015. Learn it before you trespass. Guards drag Kwame toward the gate. His feet scrape marble, leaving thin blood trails. Through the haze, he sees Amara's window open again. She's crying. At the gate, Kwame finds words. "I'm sorry you're so empty that a child's smile terrifies you." A guard slaps him. His lip splits. They throw him onto asphalt. The gate locks. Kwame lies there, face pressed to hot pavement. Cars honk. Nobody stops. 3 minutes pass. When he stands, he notices yellow paper tucked under the gate's iron rail. He unfolds it. Crayon handwriting. "Thank you for the music. You made me remember." Below, a drawing of a silver harmonica surrounded by butterflies. Kwame pockets it. Wipes blood. Starts the 3-kilometer walk. Behind him, Okonkwo watches from his study. Opens Twitter. Types, "Successful morning. Light for the voiceless secured N100M in new donations. Every child deserves a future. Philanthropy. Lagos, changing lives. Post on 6,000 likes within an hour. Nobody knows about the boy. The blood. The drowned harmonica. Okonkwo pours scotch. Calls his PR team. Schedule the charity gala. 3 weeks. Livestream, 50,000 viewers minimum. He hangs up. Sips upstairs. Amara holds the second harmonica Kwame left last week, the one Okonkwo hasn't found. She presses it to her lips. Doesn't blow, just holds the cool metal. Her therapist, Dr. Adebayo, arrives at noon. Records Amara's mood score, 6 out of 10. Highest in 14 months. She notes it, says nothing. That evening, she makes a phone call. Kwame returns to his traffic light corner at Fadei Junction, the spot where he usually earns enough for bread and antibiotics. Today, drivers slow down just to stare. A woman in a Lexus films him. Doesn't lower her window. Doesn't drop coins. Just records and drives away. A taxi driver yells, "Aren't you the boy who tried to rob Okonkwo?" Shame. Kwame dances harder, faster. His split lip reopens. Blood mingles with sweat. By sunset, his jar holds 180, 20 naira short. He walks to Sister Folek's shelter, a converted warehouse behind St. Agnes Cathedral. 43 children sleep on donated mattresses. The air smells like antiseptic and boiled yam. Nia waits by the door. Her fever broke yesterday, but her cough lingers. She needs 3 more days of antibiotics. Each pill costs N150. "Did you get it?" she asks. Kwame hands her the N180. "Tomorrow I'll make up the difference." Sister Folak appears from the pharmacy closet. 68. Silver hair wrapped in blue fabric, fingers stained yellow from decades of iodine. She uncaps the pill bottle, gives Nia her dose with lukewarm water. "Sit, Kwame." They move to the courtyard. Plastic chairs circling a dead fountain. Someone spray-painted yellow flowers on the concrete basin. "Tell me what happened," Sister Folek says. Kwame recounts it. The garden, the dancing, the harmonica sinking. Okonkwo's smile as he destroyed the only thing Kwame had left. Sister Folake listens. When he finishes, "Are you angry?" "Yes." "Good. Anger means you still believe you deserve better, but anger without direction becomes poison. What do you want?" Kwame stares at the painted flowers. "I want him to see me, not as a street rat, just as someone. And if he never does, then I'll keep dancing anyway." Sister Folake nods. Walks to her office, returns with a smartphone, cracked screen, 3 years old. "This was donated last month. Record your dances, post them. Let people see what Okonkwo tried to bury." Kwame takes the phone. His hand trembles, but you can't control what happens next. People will say things. True and lies. Can you handle that? "I don't know." Honest, she smiles. "Start small. 1 video." That night, Kwame practices under the bridge. Fluorescent light from a mechanic shop provides illumination. He props the phone against a tire rim, records himself dancing the routine he performed for Amara. No music. Just breath and bare feet on concrete. He posts it to a local talent page, Lagos Street Dancers Showcase. 12 views by morning. 1 comment. Mid. Kwame deletes the app. 3 days later, Nia finishes her antibiotics. Her cough vanishes. She hugs Kwame so hard his ribs ache. "I'm going to learn to read," she announces. Sister Folek says educated people don't get sick as much because they understand germs. Kwame laughs. First time since the garden. That afternoon at Fadei Junction, the same taxi driver slows down, rolls down his window. "Hey, boy. My daughter showed me your video. The one you deleted." Kwame freezes. Someone screen recorded it. "It's on TikTok now. 200,000 views." The taxi drives away. Kwame pulls out the phone. Searches his name. Nothing. Searches Okonkwo homeless boy. 7 results. The top one, 2.1 million views. Caption: Billionaire bans street kid who made his paralyzed daughter smile. This is Nigeria. The video isn't his practice footage. It's security camera footage, grainy but unmistakable. Kwame playing harmonica, Amara clapping, Okonkwo drowning the instrument. The slap. Everything comments flood faster than he can read. This man claims to help children but treats them like dirt. Okonkwo is a fraud. Someone find that boy. The daughter looks so sad. Kwame's hands shake. He closes the app, opens it. The count climbs 2.2 million, 2.3 million. His phone buzzes. Unknown number. Hello? Is this Kwame? A woman, measured tone. Each word chosen. Who's asking? Dr. Adebayo, I'm Amara's neurologist. I need to speak with you about something urgent. They meet at a cafe near Idumota Market. Dr. Adebayo, 43, dreadlocks in a bun, coffee already cold in front of her. She orders him jollof rice and chicken. He doesn't touch it. Amara has been my patient for 26 months. After the accident, her spinal cord showed no permanent damage. The paralysis is psychosomatic. Her brain protecting her from trauma she can't process. What does that have to do with me? Everything. Dr. Adebayo slides a folder across. Charts, graphs, mood scores tracked daily. For 14 months, her scores stayed between 1 and 3 out of 10. Severe depression. Then 3 weeks ago, she taps a date circled in red. They jumped to 6. The day he first played beneath her window. I didn't know you existed until yesterday. But Amara drew this. She shows him a sketch. A boy with a harmonica, yellow butterflies circling. I asked who it was. She said, the dancer who reminded me people can be kind. Kwame swallows hard. I've been documenting her responses. Classical piano does nothing. Pop music makes her anxious. But folk melodies, harmonica specifically, trigger 40% improvement in voluntary movement. She tried to stand yesterday. First time in 2 years. Why tell me? Because Okonkwo refuses to believe it. Thinks I'm fabricating data. She leans forward. I need your permission to include your interaction in my formal study. It won't be anonymous. Your name, your story, all part of the medical record. He'll destroy me. He'll try. Dr. Adebayo doesn't blink. But I'm presenting my findings at the National Neurological Conference in 3 weeks. Same week as his charity gala. If my research proves his pride is medically harming his daughter, money won't protect his reputation. Kwame looks at the jollof rice. Picks up the fork. Takes a bite. Still warm? What do you need? Keep dancing. Keep being visible. And when the time comes, tell the truth. That evening, an official invitation arrives via WhatsApp. Chief Emeka, Okonkwo's business partner. Mr. Okonkwo requests your presence at the Light for the Voiceless charity gala. As a gesture of reconciliation, he'd like you to perform. Compensation provided? Please confirm. Kwame shows Sister Folake. She reads it twice. Trap, I know. Then why consider it? Because Amara will be there. And maybe... He stops, restarts. Maybe if I face him with witnesses, he can't just throw me away. Sister Folake touches his shoulder. Her father would say you're reckless. My father also said dignity isn't something people give you. It's what you refuse to let them take, she sighs. Then we prepare. You don't go alone, and you don't go unarmed. I don't have weapons. Truth is the only weapon, but you have to carry it right. For 2 weeks, Kwame trains, not just dancing. Sister Folake teaches him to stand before cameras without flinching, to answer hostile questions without rage, to breathe when panic chokes him. Dr. Adebayo sends updates. Amara's mood scores hold at 7 out of 10. She's practicing with leg braces. 20 seconds at a time. The viral video reaches 8 million views. News outlets pick it up. Vanguard Nigeria front page. Billionaire's hypocrisy exposed. Okonkwo's dark side revealed. Okonkwo's PR team releases a statement. The incident was a misunderstanding. Mr. Okonkwo champions youth empowerment. He looks forward to reconciling publicly at the gala. Kwame reads it, replies to Chief Emeka, I'll be there. 3 days before the gala, a package arrives. Inside, a tailored suit, navy blue, yellow pocket square. No note. Kwame knows who sent it. He holds the yellow fabric to the light, thinks of Amara's curtains, her butterflies. Her smile, folds it carefully and waits. The viral video hits 12 million views, then 15 million. Then it becomes evidence. A human rights lawyer in Abuja files a formal complaint citing Section 277 of the Child Rights Act. No person shall subject a child to physical or emotional torture or degrading treatment. Okonkwo's legal team responds within 6 hours. Press release. Mr. Okonkwo categorically denies any wrongdoing. The individual trespassed on private property and posed a potential threat to a vulnerable minor. Security measures were proportionate and lawful. The statement includes an attachment. Background check on Kwame. No arrests. No criminal record. But buried in the third paragraph, subject has no fixed address and has been documented soliciting funds under various pretenses, including exaggerated medical claims. Sister Folak reads it aloud in the courtyard. The paper trembles in her grip. They're calling you a con artist, she says. Kwame sits on cracked concrete. Nia leans against his shoulder. What does that mean? It means they're trying to make people think I'm a liar, but you're not. I know. He touches the yellow pocket square. But knowing doesn't matter if nobody believes you. Sister Folak's phone buzzes. Dr. Adebayo's message. They're coming after your credibility. I'm accelerating my presentation timeline. Conference is in 4 days, same night as the gala. I'll stream it. Let them try to discredit medical data. Another message. Okonkwo hired a PI. They know about Nia's treatment costs. Be ready. 2 days before the gala, a scandal breaks. Not about Kwame, about Okonkwo. Anonymous Twitter account posts financial documents, audited records from Light for the Voiceless, spanning 3 years. The thread explodes. Thread. Why Okonkwo's charity is a tax shelter. 147 donations. N500 million. Actual program spending, N89 million. The remaining N411 million went to administrative costs. N45 million to a consulting firm owned by Okonkwo's cousin. N78 million to a luxury hotel, Okonkwo's property, for fundraising events. N120 million to a media company. CEO is Okonkwo's former roommate. Screenshots. Bank transfers. Board minutes where Okonkwo vetoed proposals to increase direct aid because overhead costs require priority funding. By noon, Buarj Okonkwo exposed trends. By evening, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission announces an investigation. Okonkwo's PR team releases a video, him in his study, yellow tie loose. I'm not a perfect man. But I've dedicated my life to helping others. These attacks, orchestrated by competitors, are designed to undermine our work. I won't let them succeed. This Saturday at our gala, I'll address every allegation. I'll prove that truth always prevails. 100,000 views, half the comments support him. Half call for his arrest. Chief Emeka visits Kwame the night before the gala, Mercedes. Grey Agbada with gold embroidery. Sister Folak makes him wait in the courtyard. Won't let him near the sleeping children. 3 minutes, she says. Chief Emeka stands under broken fluorescent light, hands clasped behind his back. I'm not here for Okonkwo. I'm here because I've known that man 20 years and watched him become something unrecognizable. Kwame stays seated, offers no respect. Why tell me? Because tomorrow night he's planning to destroy you publicly. Chief Emeka shows him a video file. This is what he'll play during your performance. The video interviews at Fadi Junction. A woman. That boy always claimed his sister was dying. Asked for money every day. A shopkeeper. He inflated treatment costs. Clinic receipt was N3000, but he said N5000. Final frame. 2 receipts side by side. L3000 versus N5000. Red circle around the discrepancy. Text overlay. Fraud exposed. Kwame's hands go cold. Chief Emeka pockets his phone. He'll play this in front of 800 people and 50,000 viewers. Call you a scammer who exploited his daughter. Then offer you 100,000 as forgiveness, to look merciful while you look bought. Why warn me? Because I have a daughter too. If someone made her smile after years of silence, I'd thank them. Not bury them. Chief Emeka glances at Sister Folak. 3 minutes up. He walks to his car, pauses. One more thing. Dr. Adebayo's presentation is at 8 p.m., exact time you perform. Okonkwo arranged that. Wants you distracted, emotional and defensive when he strikes. What should I do? Tell the whole truth. Not just the parts that sound good. Chief Emeka opens his door. And bring receipts. Literal ones. The Mercedes pulls away. Sister Folake finds every receipt from Nia's treatment. Not just N3000 for antibiotics. N1200 for emergency transport. N800 for shelter meals. 500 for stolen school supplies during hospitalization. Total N5500. She photocopies everything. 3 sets. 1 to Kwame, 1 she keeps, 1 to Dr. Adebayo. You undersold yourself, she says, folds his hands around the papers. When he calls you a liar tomorrow, don't argue. Show these. Let the numbers speak. That night, Kwame practices until 4 a.m. under the bridge, surrounded by sleeping bodies. Phone propped against a tire rim, recording. Watch playback, delete, record again. The routine is different, sharper, angrier. But Grace lives in it, the kind his father talked about. Grace that doesn't bow, doesn't beg. Just exists and demands to be seen. At sunrise, Nia wakes him. You're going to be late. He fell asleep on concrete, phone clutched in his hand. 17 missed calls. Voicemails from journalists. Texts from strangers offering money, advice, threats. He ignores them all. Nia helps him into the suit. Navy blue. Yellow pocket square last. She adjusts it, steps back. Papa would be proud. Papa would tell me I'm crazy. Same thing. Sister Folake drives him in her 15-year-old pickup. Passenger door wired shut. They arrive 3 hours early. Security blocks them. Performers enter at 6 p.m. They wait. Sister Folake prays in Yoruba. Kwame watches the venue transform. White tents. Red carpet. Valet stations. A stage rises. Surrounded by 3-story screens, that's where Okonkwo will show his video. Where he'll try to end Kwame in front of everyone. At 5:45 p.m., the guard waves them through. Backstage, controlled chaos. 12 performers prepare. Gospel choir. Spoken word poet. Children's ballet from an orphanage Okonkwo funds. Everyone wears expensive clothes. Everyone looks polished. Kwame stands in his navy suit holding a plastic bag of receipts. Production assistant with clipboard. You're performing at 8:15 p.m. 5 minutes maximum. Music? No. Microphone? No. She makes a note. Mr. Okonkwo will introduce you personally. 2-minute speech, then you perform. Don't go over 5 minutes or we cut the lights. She leaves. Dr. Adebayo appears. Purple Iro and Buba with gold embroidery. Pulls Kwame aside. My presentation starts 8 p.m. sharp, streaming from the conference downtown. Every major academic platform plus YouTube. I've alerted 3 journalists. They'll watch both events simultaneously. What if he cuts the stream? He can't, not his platform. She hands him an earbud. Wear this. I'll be in your ear. If he tries something, I'll guide you. Why risk so much? Her jaw sets. I took an oath to do no harm. Watching Okonkwo harm his daughter while pretending to help children. That's the worst hypocrisy. You're the catalyst. This was always going to explode. She leaves. Kwame tests the earbud. Dr. Adebayo's voice crackles. Audio check. Clear. I'll go silent until your performance. But I'm here. You're not alone. At 7 p.m., Dr. Adebayo's voice returns. Kwame, I need to tell you something before we go live. Something I discovered yesterday. Kwame moves to an empty hallway. Amara's latest MRI came back. I ran it without Okonkwo's knowledge. Dr. Adebayo's voice shakes. Her spinal cord shows complete regeneration. Has for 6 months. She can walk fully. The world tilts. What? The psychosomatic paralysis resolved after your first visit. Her brain started healing. But Okonkwo's he's been telling her the doctors said she can't walk. He's been adjusting her medication to keep her lethargic, convincing her she's still broken. Why would he control? As long as she's dependent, he's the hero father caring for his disabled child. His charity work looks noble. His public image stays intact. Dr. Adebayo pauses. I have the MRIs, the medication logs, everything. I'm presenting it tonight. But you need to know, when Amara finds out her father has been lying to her for 6 months, keeping her in that wheelchair when she could have been walking. Kwame leans against the wall. Can't breathe. She's wearing leg braces tonight, Dr. Adebayo continues. I gave them to her this afternoon. Told her they're experimental. But they're not. They're just supports. She can stand without them. I need her to discover that herself. In front of everyone. When the truth comes out, Does she know any of this? Not yet. But she will. In 90 minutes, the line goes silent. Kwame slides down the wall, sits on cold tile. The receipts crinkle in his pocket. All his preparation, the defense against fraud accusations, the careful truth-telling, suddenly feels small. This isn't about him anymore. This is about a father who imprisoned his daughter in her own body to feed his ego. At 7:30 p.m., the gala begins. Kwame watches from the wings. 800 guests, champagne, suya, and puff-puff. Screens light up. Okonkwo appears in white agbada with yellow embroidery. Welcome. Tonight we celebrate compassion. Tonight we prove wealth means nothing if we don't lift others. Applause. The program begins. Gospel choir, poet, children dancing. Each receives polite applause and a N50,000 donation announced on screen. At 8 p.m., Dr. Adebayo. My presentation just started. 300 watching live. Let's see what happens when science confronts ego. At 8:10 p.m., the production assistant taps Kwame's shoulder. You're up in 5. Kwame walks to the stage entrance. Through the curtain gap, he sees Amara, front row, yellow dress, simple, bright, leg braces visible. Her hands rest on the armrests, fingers tapping a rhythm only she hears. Their eyes meet. She nods. He nods back. The assistant pushes him forward. Go now. Kwame steps onto the stage. 50,000 people watch through screens across Nigeria. 800 watch from velvet chairs. Amara watches from the front row, her yellow dress catching stage lights like a flame. Okonkwo stands at the podium. White agbada, yellow embroidery matching his daughter's gown. He smiles. The crowd smiles back. Tonight, Okonkwo says, voice smooth as his expensive scotch, we have a special guest. A young man whose story touched millions. A reminder that compassion requires discernment. Whispers spread through rows of chairs. Please welcome Kwame. Applause. Polite. Uncertain. Kwame walks to center stage. No microphone, no music. Just him and lights hot enough to melt wax. Okonkwo places a hand on Kwame's shoulder. Fingers dig into bone. Before Kwame performs, I want to address the allegations circulating online. The accusations. The lies. The screens flicker. Video footage begins. The woman at Fade Junction appears. That boy always claimed his sister was dying. Asked for money every day. The shopkeeper. He inflated treatment costs. I saw the clinic receipt, N3,000, but he told people N5,000. Split screen, 2 receipts. N3,000 highlighted in green, N5,000 in red. The word fraud pulses across both. Sharp intakes of breath ripple through the crowd. Phones lift. Recording everything. Okonkwo's voice fills the space. I wanted to believe in this boy. But truth matters more than sentiment. He exploited my daughter's condition for personal gain. He manipulated public sympathy. And tonight I'm offering him a choice. Okonkwo produces an envelope. Send 100,000, take it. Admit you exaggerated, apologize. And we all move forward. The crowd goes silent. Kwame feels Sister Folake watching from backstage. Feels Dr. Adebayo's presence through the earbud. Feels his father's harmonica ghost weight around his neck. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out the plastic bag of receipts. May I use the screen? Okonkwo's smile drops for a half-second, returns. Of course, a technician takes the receipts, projects them one by one. 3,000. Antibiotics, 10-day course. St. Agnes Clinic, .N1 200. Emergency transport, Nia collapsed at school. Lagos Ambulance Service, .800. Shelter meals, 3 days. Sister Folake's registry, N500. School supplies replacement. Stolen during hospitalization, N1000. Follow-up examination. Pediatric specialist, total. N52500. Kwame's voice carries without amplification. 14 years of street performing taught him projection. I didn't inflate costs. I undercharged myself. I forgot to count transport. Forgot to count the days I couldn't work because I was caring for her. Forgot to count that being poor isn't just expensive, it's exhausting. Chairs creak as people lean forward. Phones tilt to capture his face. Okonkwo's jaw hardens. These could be fabricated. They're time-stamped. Signed by medical personnel. Cross-referenced with clinic records. Kwame turns to face him directly. But this isn't about receipts. This is about you needing me to be a liar so badly that you'll destroy a child to prove it. I'm protecting my daughter. From what? From smiling? Silence drops like a guillotine. Then Dr. Adebayo's voice cuts through the earbud. Streams live now. The screens flicker again, but not with Okonkwo's content. Dr. Adebayo appears, split screen, the gala on the left, her presentation on the right. 300 medical professionals watching her. 50,000 civilians watching both. Good evening. I'm Dr. Adebayo, pediatric neurologist. I'm here to present findings on a case of medically induced psychological trauma. Okonkwo lunges for the podium controls. Nothing happens. Chief Emeka stands near the tech booth, arms crossed. He nods once at Kwame. Dr. Adebayo continues. Patient A, 12 years old, presented with psychosomatic paralysis following vehicular trauma. Initial prognosis, full physical recovery possible with proper psychological intervention. MRI images fill the right screen. Color-coded scans. Before and after. 6 months ago, patient A's spinal cord showed complete regeneration. Neural pathways functional. Muscular atrophy minimal. Medical consensus. Patient A can walk. The left screen, the gala feed, zooms slowly on Amara's face. She stares at the right screen. At her own MRI. Her hands grip the wheelchair armrests until her knuckles go white. Dr. Adebayo. However, patient A was told by her primary guardian that doctors confirmed permanent paralysis. Medication logs show sedatives administered beyond therapeutic necessity. Dosages designed to induce lethargy and suppress voluntary movement. Medication charts appear. Dates, prescriptions, Okonkwo's signature on every authorization form. In medical terms, this is iatrogenic harm. In ethical terms, this is abuse. Patient A has been capable of walking for 6 months. She was not informed. The crowd erupts, shouts, questions, cameras flash like lightning. Okonkwo grabs the microphone. This is slander. I've provided my daughter with the best care. You've provided her with a cage. Dr. Adebayo's voice overrides his. And you called it love. Amara's hands move to her leg braces, fingers fumbling with the straps. Kwame steps toward her. Security moves to intercept. Chief Emeka raises one hand. They stop. Kwame kneels in front of Amara's wheelchair, eye level. You don't have to do anything. Not for them. Not for me. Not for anyone. Amara's voice comes out rough, unpracticed. Can I really walk? Dr. Adebayo says yes, but that's between you and your body. Nobody else gets a vote. Amara looks past Kwame, at her father. Okonkwo stands frozen at the podium, white agbada suddenly looking like a surrender flag. You knew, Amara says, each word louder than the last. You knew I could walk. And you didn't tell me. I was protecting you from what? She leans forward in her chair. From living? She unfastens the leg braces, lets them fall, grips the wheelchair armrests. The crowd holds its breath. 800 people, 50,000 screens, all watching a 12-year-old girl decide if her father's lies get to define the rest of her life. Amara stands. Wobbles. Kwame stays kneeling. Doesn't help. Just present. Ready if she falls, she doesn't fall. Amara takes one step, then another. Her legs shake, but they hold. 2 years of being told she's broken, and her body still remembers how to move. 3 steps. 4. She walks past Kwame, past the front row. Onto the stage. The crowd explodes, cheering, crying, phones everywhere. Amara reaches the podium, takes the microphone from her father's limp hand. My name is Amara Okonkwo. For 2 years I believed I couldn't walk. My father told me doctors said I'd never walk again. He told me to accept it, to be grateful for the wheelchair, to be grateful for him. Each sentence comes out stronger, clearer, a voice finding itself, but I can walk. I've been able to walk for 6 months. And he knew. He knew and he didn't tell me because, she looks at Okonkwo, because you needed me broken, needed me to need you, needed the story of the devoted father caring for his disabled daughter. Okonkwo reaches for her. Amara, please, she steps back. Don't touch me. 800 people inhale at once. This is the sound of power shifting. Of a daughter reclaiming what was stolen. Amara turns to Kwame. Thank you for playing music for me. Thank you for reminding me that people can be kind without needing something back. You gave me your father's harmonica. You gave me your truth. I'm sorry mine cost you so much. She walks to the edge of the stage, sits down, legs dangling. Like a child at a swimming pool, Dr. Adebayo's voice through the earbud. That's my girl. Chief Emeka approaches the podium. Takes the microphone. I'm Chief Emeka, co-founder of Light for the Voiceless. As of this moment, Mr. Okonkwo is removed from all Foundation operations pending investigation. Every donation will be audited, every program will be reviewed, and every child will receive the help they were promised. He looks at Kwame, including you. Okonkwo sinks into a chair. Head in hands, the white Agbada pools around him like spilled milk. Security doesn't approach. Nobody does. He's not being arrested, not being dragged away. He's just alone, in a room full of people. Alone with the truth he tried to bury. A journalist from the crowd yells, "Mr. Okonkwo, do you have a statement?" Okonkwo lifts his head. New lines crease his forehead. Grey shows in his beard that wasn't visible an hour ago. I thought I was protecting her. I thought, if she needed me, she'd never leave. Never stop being my little girl. So you kept her paralyzed? Another journalist. You medically abused your own daughter? Like? Okonkwo's next words catch in his throat. He coughs, starts again. I didn't think of it that way. I thought I was being careful. Thought doctors were rushing her recovery. Thought I knew better. You thought wrong, Dr. Adebayo's voice from the screen. And your daughter paid the price. Kwame walks to Amara, sits beside her on the stage edge. 50,000 people still watching, but it feels like just the two of them. Are you okay? He asks. No, Amara wipes her eyes. But I will be someday. Someday is a good start. She looks at the yellow pocket square in his suit, touches it lightly. You kept the color. Hope, Kwame says. My father said yellow means hope. I like that. Amara stands again. Still shaky, but standing. Will you dance? I came all this way. I want to see you dance. Kwame looks at Sister Folic in the wings. She nods, he stands. No music, no harmonica. Just him and the rhythm his father taught him. The rhythm that saved Nia. The rhythm that brought Amara back. He dances. Traditional steps blended with street style. Grace that doesn't bow. Grace that exists and demands to be seen. Amara claps. The crowd joins. 800 people clapping in rhythm. And for 5 minutes there's no fraud accusation. No medical abuse. No broken families. Just a boy dancing and a girl clapping, and the proof that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can tear down the tallest walls. When Kwame finishes, he bows. Not to Okonkwo. Not to the crowd, to Amara she bows back. The gala doesn't end with applause. It ends with silence. People sit in their chairs, unsure if they should leave. Unsure what protocol exists after watching a man's empire collapse in real time. Security escorts Okonkwo from the venue. Not in handcuffs. Not dramatically. He just walks out through a side door while cameras track his every step. The white Agbada drags on the ground collecting dust. Chief Emeka takes the stage again. The Foundation will issue a full financial report within 72 hours. All funds will be redistributed according to their original intent. Anyone who donated has the right to request a refund or redirect their contribution to verified programs. He pauses, scans the crowd. And we're establishing an independent oversight board. No more single-person control. No more unchecked power, scattered applause. Hands meet cautiously, like people afraid the floor might collapse again. Backstage, Amara sits in a folding chair. Not her wheelchair. Just a regular chair. Her legs still shake from the effort of standing, walking, confronting her father in front of thousands. Dr. Adebayo wraps a blood pressure cuff around her arm. How do you feel? Dr. Adebayo asks, tired, angry, free. Amara watches the cuff inflate. Can you feel all those at once? You'd be abnormal if you didn't. Kwame stands nearby, still in his navy suit. Sister Folic arrived from the wings, brought him water. He hasn't touched it. Amara looks at him. What happens now to you? I go back to the bridge. Back to dancing at traffic lights. That's not fair. Fair doesn't mean much, but it's mine. Nobody can take it from me. Kwame finally drinks the water. What about you? Amara's hands fold in her lap. She stares at them for 10 seconds before answering. I don't know. I can't go home. Not to him. Not after... Dr. Adebayo removes the cuff. You're staying with me tonight. I've already contacted Child Protective Services. They're opening a case. You'll have options. Options. Amara mouths the word silently first, then speaks it. Trying it on. I've never had those before. 3 hours later, the venue empties. Cleanup crews stack chairs, dismantle screens, sweep confetti and dropped programs. Kwame helps load equipment, the least he can do for Chief Emeka, who gave him this chance. Chief Emeka finds him near the loading dock, hands him an envelope. What's this? Your performance fee. And 50,000, you earned it. Kwame holds the envelope, turns it over twice, studies the seal. I can't accept this. Not after everything. You performed. We pay performers. This isn't charity. Chief Emeka leans against a supply crate. But I also have an offer. The foundation needs a youth ambassador. Someone who actually knows what street life means. Someone kids will trust. And 50,000 monthly stipend. You'd work with Sister Folek's shelter and 3 others across Lagos. I'm 14. So, Amara's 12 and she just took down a billionaire. Age is just a number when you've got purpose. Chief Emeka straightens. Think about it. Let me know in a week, he walks away. Kwame opens the envelope. 10 and 5,000 in notes. More money than he's held in his entire life. He counts them 3 times to make sure they're real. Thinks of Nia, of the shelter, of every kid sleeping under bridges because no one in power remembers they exist. He pockets the envelope. Sister Folake drives him back to the shelter in her ancient pickup. The streets are quieter now. Past midnight, Lagos never truly sleeps, but it rests between heartbeats. You did something impossible tonight, Sister Folake says. I just danced. You did more than dance. You reminded people that truth doesn't need permission to exist. They pass the spot where Kwame usually performs, Fade Junction. Even at this hour, someone's dancing there. Another kid, maybe 10 years old, earning coins from late-night drivers. Kwame watches until they turn the corner. I want to take the job, he says, the ambassador position, but I have conditions. Sister Folake smiles. Of course you do. I keep dancing at Fade, 3 days a week. That's my corner. Those are my people. I don't abandon them just because I got lucky. And Nia gets schooling. Full scholarship, books, uniform, everything already arranged. Chief Emeka called me before we left. Kwame looks at her. You knew he was going to offer this. I suggested it 2 weeks ago, after I saw how you handled Sister Margaret's questions about your father. You didn't lie, didn't hide. Just told your truth and let it stand. Sister Folake turns into the shelter driveway. That's rare, especially in someone so young. Inside, Nia is still awake. She runs to Kwame, hugs him so hard his ribs protest. Everyone saw you on their phones. You were on every screen in Lagos. I know. And the girl, she walked. She actually walked. I know. And her father was lying to her the whole time. I know, Nia, she pulls back. Studies his face. Are you okay? Kwame thinks about that. About Okonkwo's hollow eyes as security led him away. About Amara's legs shaking as she took her first free steps in 6 months. About the N50,000 in his pocket that won't solve everything, but will solve something. I'm okay, he says. And tomorrow I'll be better. 2 days later, Okonkwo sends a letter. Not through lawyers. Just a handwritten envelope delivered to Sister Folek's shelter, addressed to Kwame. Sister Folake hands it to him. You don't have to read it. Kwame opens it anyway. The letter is short. 1 page. Okonkwo's handwriting slopes left where it used to slope right. Letters crowd together. Ink smudges in places like his hand trembled. Kwame, I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know. Watching you dance for my daughter without expecting anything in return broke something in me. Or maybe it showed me what was already broken. I've spent 20 years building an empire. Never realized I was burying my humanity under the foundation. I'm entering a psychiatric treatment program. Amara deserves better than apologies. She deserves a father who doesn't confuse control with love. I may never be that father. But I can try to stop being the one who harmed her. The money I offered you that night, 100,000, I've donated it to Sister Folek's shelter in your name. Not as payment, not as absolution. Just because it's what I should have done from the beginning. Thank you for showing my daughter that she could stand, even when everyone told her she couldn't. Okonkwo. Kwame folds the letter, puts it in his pocket next to the yellow square. What will you do with it? Sister Folake asks. Keep it. Not because I forgive him, but because someday I might. And I'll want to remember I made that choice myself. Not because someone pressured me. Not because it's what people expect. Sister Folek touches his shoulder. Grace isn't saying yes to everyone. It's protecting your peace while wishing them healing. Kwame looks out the window, sees Nia playing with the other children, sees the yellow flowers spray-painted on the dead fountain, sees the future uncertain, difficult but his. Papa used to say dignity isn't something people give you. It's what you refuse to let them take. Your father was wise, he was. Kwame turns from the window, and I think he'd be okay with what I'm becoming. 6 months later, Kwame stands on the rooftop of Sister Folek's shelter. The corrugated metal has been replaced, donated by a construction company after the viral video. No more rust holes, no more rain leaking through at night. Below him, 37 children practice dance routines he choreographed. Their laughter rises like smoke, a sound his father would have loved. The shelter has a new name now, painted in yellow letters across the entrance, Hope House. Nia chose it. She's in school uniform, teaching the younger kids how to read. 10 years old and already changing the world one letter at a time. Kwame's phone buzzes. A text from Dr. Adebayo. Amara's walking 3 kilometers daily now. Physical therapy graduation next week. She wants you there, he types back. I'll be there. Another text, this one from Chief Emeka. Youth Ambassador report due Friday. And the foundation wants to open 2 more shelters. Your input needed. Kwame pockets the phone. Looks at the city sprawling beneath him. Lagos, chaotic, beautiful, brutal, alive. Third mainland bridge visible in the distance. The place where his father died. The place where Kwame learned to survive. The place he'll never forget, but no longer needs to return to every night. His traffic light corner at Fadei Junction is still his 3 days a week. But now he dances with purpose beyond coins. He dances so kids watching from passing cars see possibility. See that dignity doesn't require permission. The silver harmonica hangs around his neck. The replacement Dr. Adebayo bought him after the first one drowned. He plays it sometimes when the shelter gets too quiet, plays Oriki Mama, and watches children gather like his music is a campfire. Sister Folake calls from downstairs. Kwame! Journalist from Channels TV is here. They want to interview you about the new shelter program. Another interview. Another camera. Another chance to tell the truth without flinching. He's gotten good at that. Kwame takes the stairs down. The journalist is young, maybe 25, holding a microphone like it might explode. Nervous energy. Mr. Kwame, thank you for your time. Our viewers want to know, after everything that happened with Mr. Okonkwo, how do you feel about forgiveness? About second chances? Kwame thinks about the letter still folded in his desk drawer. About Amara learning to walk without her father's shadow. About Okonkwo in a treatment facility, trying to become someone his daughter might someday speak to again. Forgiveness isn't a debt you owe, Kwame says. It's a gift you give yourself when you're ready. Not before. The journalist nods, scribbling notes. And what's next for you? Next? Kwame looks at the yellow letters above the door, at the children dancing, at Nia reading to a circle of kids half her size. Next is showing up. Every day. Doing the work. Being the person my father taught me to be, which is someone who dances with dignity, someone who refuses to let the world's cruelty make him cruel. That evening, Kwame walks to Fadei Junction one last time this week, sets up his phone to record, not for posting, just for memory, just to remember where he came from while building where he's going. He dances until the sun sets, until the traffic lights paint the street in red, yellow, green, until his body remembers every step his father taught him and every step he taught himself. When he finishes, a little girl in a passing car waves. Her mother hands her coins. She throws them into Kwame's jar and yells, "You're the boy from the video. You helped that girl walk." Kwame waves back. The car drives away. He collects the coins, N400 today, and walks home under stars just beginning to appear. The harmonica catches moonlight. Yellow spray paint on distant walls reminds him, hope isn't a luxury. It's a decision you make every morning when you wake up and choose to keep going. His father was right. Grace doesn't bow. Grace doesn't beg. Grace just moves, and refuses to stop moving. What would you do if someone tried to humiliate you for showing kindness? Have you ever witnessed injustice and wondered if speaking up would matter? Drop your story in the comments. We read every single one. And your voice adds to these African stories that prove courage doesn't require power, just persistence. This real-life story is one of countless, touching stories woven into African folklore and modern reality. Life, the stories that remind us the smallest act of compassion can topple empires built on pride. Kwame's journey moved you. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you never miss a story. Share this with someone who needs to remember their dignity is theirs to keep, not someone else's to take. Next week, a village healer exposes a corrupt chief's darkest secret using only 3 cowrie shells and the truth he tried to bury. The reckoning will leave you speechless. Don't miss it.